listening to Jesus Christ That's Funny. I'm Ethan Moore, and I'm here with Pastor Dwayne Black.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great,
See
Pastor.
ya, man.
Yeah, you too. Got my coffee here.
I do too.
It's good to be here on a Thursday afternoon, as we usually are when we record. Here in the Sanctum Sanctorum of the Presbyterian Church here, the Sanctuary Church.
Yes, yes.
I told you that today I have... Well, how are you, Pastor?
I'm really doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I'm excited that you got something that you wanted to
talk about.
Yeah.
I know. I'm eager to talk.
It's a little bit scaring me. It's really scaring me, actually.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. So we've talked about like politics and all this kind of stuff, and I'm always trying to get us not to talk about that.
I know.
But I like it the most when we talk about like kind of the personal stuff and the stuff that's kind of like day to day.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to say morality, but like, trying to achieve closer connection with our own humanity and the divine and things like that.
Right, right, yeah.
And one thing that I was thinking about recently.
What?
Was gossip, Like, what is that? I don't know.
You crossed your arms. That kind of that sent me off. I'm looking at the body language going on here.
I was very guilty.
So, yeah. Like the setup is coming,
You see this every day when your parishioners come to you, right?
I want to talk to you about something. Can you close the door? Yeah.
Right. No, okay. Well, no, it's true.
No, go ahead.
You're not wrong. Because I have a feeling of not exactly guilt, but I wonder if I should feel guilty about.
Is there something you want to talk about?
I do. Okay. So I've talked to a few different people about this recently.
Right.
And these people I talk to, they're all jerks. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the gossip. No, I like, so for example, I'll blow off steam a lot with a couple of my comedian friends.
Right.
And one in particular, and one of our favorite topics is like other comedians.
Oh, okay.
And, not so much, sometimes like, oh, this guy's not funny. Yeah. Sometimes we say that.
When you say blow off steam, what does that mean?
I mean, like sometimes we'll have like an hour conversation on the phone where we're just ripping into someone else constantly and like making jokes and trying to top each other on jokes about like how bad this guy is or that guy is,
man.
And it's like this guilty pleasure, that I always indulge in with this one friend in particular. And he'll call me up and be like, oh man, you won't believe what this guy said. And here's the thing about it.
Do you ever think he does that with somebody else?
He's talking about me.
Yeah, right. I just wondered. Yeah,
he calls out the other guys we're talking about.
Wait, you got to listen to this.
Right. You won't believe what he said about you. Yeah. Never booked this guy.
Yeah.
No, it's like I feel like it's healthy in one way and unhealthy in another way. And it's like obviously I'm bonding with my friend here, and we're not. I mean, it's not like we wish people ill necessarily. I mean, it's just that we wish them no specific harm.
Right. Okay.
Just general sort of harm, not specific. No.
You actually wish them harm?
I'm just kidding. We joke about wishing them harm.
If you would just fall off the stage, it would be so great. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fall off the stage into like a big tuba or something. Yeah, that's fantastic. No, but quit. We always this guy should quit comedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's usually because of things that people do off stage.
Right.
In other words, we don't care if someone is not good at telling jokes because telling jokes is really hard to do. And as long as you're trying to get better at it, that's good on you. That's fine. And we all start off terrible, except for one or two people who I can think of who start off really good, and I hate them the most. Because how do they get so good without trying? I really hate those guys. No. But I'm sure anyone... who's
their teeth would fall out, I would let.
Right. There's an old Jewish curse I heard once, which was may his head grow in the ground like an onion. Isn't that great? That's like an old European Jewish curse.
That's great. That's good.
Yeah, old world stuff. But anyway, I think what's funny about it is okay, I wish this. Okay, we don't wish them harm. We don't criticize. Okay, what am I trying to say here? We're not criticizing them for being bad at comedy. Right. It's the things they do off stage. It's like, people who are doing things like, they'll just be really annoying to everyone around them, or they'll be really self-centered, or do selfish things in the scene, or like try to take something away from another comic, or try to walk into a room and try to dominate every conversation. Basically, like people that are like blowhards,
right? Yeah.
Things like that, and just people, because what happens is you end up in this community of comedians,
right?
And you're spending time around people constantly, the same people.
Yeah.
So some of them get to you, know, and you just start to, and then you obviously, it's like any community where you're going to gravitate towards some people and kind of gravitate away from other people.
I have the hardest time understanding that, but yes,
you're like
never
such a nice
experienced
guy.
That.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have experiences. Tell me about your worst members of the church here. Yeah. Who really gets your goat? Who do you wish would, leave the church, never come back, and be cast into that lake of fire we always hear so much about?
I had two members that were that way, and they were. And I'll tell you, I honestly looked at them as cancer.
Like if cancer.
Yeah.
Like if they were swimming in the lake of fire, you wouldn't toss them on a life raft?
No, I would do that, but not bring them back over to this side of the land.
Oh, really? So tell me about this. This is fascinating.
That way. Keep going.
Tell me about these cancerous individuals.
They were pretty bad. They were they did nothing but gossip and create problems and create issues. And
like I'm doing.
Very much like what you're doing, without the sensitivity of understanding that maybe that person's talking a lot because they're very concerned and worried, and they have a fragile side to them. Yes. Right. Yeah.
People that created like more strife, things like that.
Created and stirred up other people, and so what we finally did is I was very clear with them. I said, I think you need to find another church. I really do.
Really?
Yep.
So you just kicked them out? Didn't
kick them out. They asked me that. They said, "Are we being kicked out?" And I said, "Nope. If you continue talking like that, I will ask you to leave, and I will help you find another church. Be more than happy to. But you cannot continue to behave like this here."
Do you have like the power to like excommunicate people?
Yeah, you could work that out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you could.
It's like the God talking to the Godfather. Yeah, something could be worked out.
We'll take it. Hey,
I think we could help you.
We get, meet with my boys, and we take.
Right.
Oh. No, but there is a point where, if you're really supposed to be taking care of a group of people, and you have people that are poisoning it, you have to, somewhere along the line, you have to draw some lines.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not what I expected to hear from you. That's interesting.
That was my first 2 weeks here. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
He just like hoisted his paper cup at me like it was like, cheers. This is what it's like to be a pastor. That was great, Pastor. That was a nice little hand gesture you did there. Well, I don't... I wasn't expecting to hear that. I thought you were going to say, no, Ethan, you shouldn't do that. Well, let me ask you this.
Well, no, I don't think you should do that.
Oh, okay. I should stop it.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're just sharing something with like one other person,
right?
And you're kind of blowing off steam, right?
Right.
That's not really gossip, right? Gossip is when you're like sort of maliciously spreading it to other people and trying to...
No, that's gossip.
It's still gossip. Yeah. Okay. Can there be like a not as bad version of gossip, or is gossip always bad? I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it one of those? Is it a sin?
Yeah, it is, because it doesn't do anything good for you, and that's the bottom line. Is it doesn't do any good, and then it doesn't solve any issues. It doesn't solve any problems. If you got issues or problems with the person, you probably need to go directly to that person and deal with them and say. And if you're a Christian, then you deal with them like, Ethan, I love you, I care about you. I don't want anything to come between us, but I need to talk to you about this.
Right.
Because maybe I've misunderstood. Maybe I didn't hear it correctly.
But what if I don't love them and don't care about them?
Well, they are a child of God, aren't they?
Yeah.
I know. This is not...
Gall-darn child of God, you. Sure do love you.
They drive me crazy, but I love you.
Yeah. Well, some people are hard to tolerate.
Yeah. Well, tell me who's hard to tolerate and what they're doing. What are they doing?
No, I mean, it's, I actually am very easygoing.
You are. I can't imagine.
It's almost more like I've bonded. I had this one friend who I've bonded with a lot, and a lot of it's around, like, talking bad about other comics. Right. But what I noticed is that, like when we started talking about this, like I actually started to like the comics that we talked about less. In other words, like I thought they were a little annoying, and then now I'm like, oh man, that guy's so terrible. And I'm like, wait, he wasn't as terrible until I started talking about him and saying how terrible he was all the time.
Is it like you're sharpening your tongue or sharpening your wit or trying?
There's
to
a lot of that, you know.
Watch.
I mean, it's fun. It's funny, you know. Like that's the thing. It's like we're making jokes, so it's like funny.
Yeah.
And there's like a level of, you know, it's not just contempt. You know, it's contempt veiled with a thin veneer of humor. It's not just bare contempt.
Very, very thin.
There's a patina of humor on top of the contempt. There's a joke on top.
So if the person walks around the corner after you guys have been talking, you're like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
This.
I'm not the type of person to get hung up on that kind of stuff. But if there's a joke to be made about it,
right,
then I'm a little mischievous. I love to make the jokes.
Yeah. Well, you're working on your art.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell myself.
That's
So what I'm hearing from you is that it's not good.
No, because I wouldn't want it said about you either. You know, I mean, not like.
But I wouldn't do those.
Say that.
I wouldn't do those terrible things.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You sure?
I don't know. Everybody loves me.
Well, it's true. I don't know many people that. Well,
every once in a while, people don't.
I know very few people that don't.
When people don't like me, it's like, it's really frustrating though.
Really?
Like, yeah. It's like.
What do they?
It's not.
Why? How could somebody not like you?
Well, what it is, and this is it's 100% of the time, I always get into the trouble for the same thing.
What is it?
I make jokes, you know, and I'm like, this is the funniest thing ever. And then like, I realize that I'm making jokes about people that I don't know that well.
Right.
Or that I don't have that kind of vibe where I'm allowed to make jokes. And it's happened so many times. Like just in the last year, I can think of like 3 or 4 occasions. One time this guy almost punched me in the face because he was.
No.
I was hanging out at the Kava Bar, Wana Kava, where I do the open mic every Monday night.
Right.
And I was hanging out there one night, and everyone was talking about this relationship that was going on between this guy and this girl in there. There were 2 regulars, and she was known as kind of a huge troublemaker and had burned all these bridges and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And then they had hooked up, and then he was now the guy that was connected with her, and everyone was like, oh wow, how long is this going to last? It's going to be another tumultuous thing, and it's going to end up with her in jail or whatever, because her relationships always end with like the authorities being involved.
Oh, no.
Because she ends up like calling the cops herself,
right,
and then screaming at them until they arrest her, stuff like that. Like there's one story where she cut she got mad at this guy she was dating and living with, and because he was not paying attention to her when he came home from work. She was not working at all.
Right.
She was living there, just not contributing anything. And he would work and come home, and then he would want to like sit and watch TV when he got home and not just pay 100% of attention to her. And so one day she got mad and left, and before she left, she cut every cable to every appliance in the house. So like his TV, his PlayStation, his toaster, his refrigerator. It's just like everything in the house. Just cut all the like power cords. Walked out. Yeah, stuff like that. So anyway, she has this reputation, and so I walked. So we're one day I was talking about it, and I'm like, wow, are they still? So I said, so I walk in one day, and I don't know this kid that well. Like I know his brother a little better, but I was like, hey, how's it going, man? So you still banging so and so? He got so mad because I was like, everyone's talking about it constantly. Like he must be sort of, and I was like, this is just the topic of conversation. I'm just gonna bring it out, and it's just funny to me, like
And so he
like, when's this gonna self-destruct kind of thing? And he was like, that's not cool at all. I should punch you in the face right now. And he got really mad. And recently,
you didn't say this on mic, did you?
No.
Oh,
I just walked up to him and said it.
Oh, okay.
Like I walked into the Kava Bar, saw him there, and walked right up to him and said, "Hey, what's up? Still doing?" Like, that was the first thing I said to anyone that day. And it was a crazy thing to say. It was a terrible thing, but that's what I get in trouble for. Is I push the envelope with people, and if I don't know them super well,
right?
Sometimes even if I do know them,
you push it.
I push it a little bit, yeah, and that's what I get in trouble for.
That's really good.
I mean, I could give you more examples.
I'd like to hear them. Yeah.
I got in trouble one time because at an open mic, someone wrote on this guy was hosting this open mic, and he said he had a piece of paper and it said like all of a sudden it was at this mic and I've been going there for a while and all of a sudden they said, oh, no dirty language,
Oh.
And I was like,
really?
Well, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And it said like no F word, And so then I wrote on it. I signed up and then I wrote on the paper. Although I didn't remember doing this until I was reminded that I did it. I don't really remember it, but someone's like, yeah, you definitely did that, Ethan. So I wrote on the paper, does the F word include faggot?
Right. Yeah.
Everyone thought it was funny. I don't know. I was like, that's just a joke for everyone. And he got really mad at me and almost kicked me out.
That's good.
And
just a little. All you were looking for is some clarification.
I was looking for
what
a
F
laugh.
word are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Which F word?
Yeah.
Which
there's lots of F
by the way,
words.
in Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, a place that's both near and dear to both your and my heart.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
You
Absolutely.
could say the 4-letter F word much more clearly than you could say that other word I just said.
Really?
Oh yeah,
You
are you
know
kidding?
what? I never thought about that. You're right.
You
That's
can't.
right,
Yeah, you can't. That's like a way worse thing to throw around over there, as it should be, really, in a lot of ways. But I thought it was good for a laugh.
That was good.
So I threw it out there.
And did people laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was funny. They laughed at me and thought the host was way too uptight about it, and and then another time.
And then there's some guys that met you outside by the car.
I can give you a long list, like I said, if you want to know all the examples. The most recent one, this was really embarrassing. This is like one where I was like, I didn't mean to do this,
Yeah.
but I went too far.
Right.
This is also at the Kava bar. There's this guy who comes in, and he has this girlfriend,
Right.
and he has a very cynical approach to this relationship from
Right.
what everyone understands. Like basically he gets this girl to come in and pay his check, and he doesn't really care about her, and she's not super attractive.
Right.
She's kind of she kind of looks like, as Rich Kennedy, the proprietor, said once to me, he's like, she kind of looks like Barbara Bush.
Okay.
And it's true. So
Is that because she's older, or
she's older. She's got the white hair.
Oh,
She's kind of got
wow.
that matronly look. Yeah. And so this guy though is dating her to get her to pay for his bar tab, basically his Kava bar tab, And so I was there a couple weeks ago, and I wrote Rich and I sometimes will send like memes back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
Like kind of jokes, about people that we know,
right,
and like we'll have them like with the saying words or putting it over their picture, and then this and that. We do it on the podcast a lot with like different things. And so this is an example. So I found a picture of former First Lady Barbara Bush,
Right.
and I had her with a little cartoon speech balloon, and I heard her saying, I'll be paying for so-and-so's Kava tonight. Yeah. And I sent it to Rich, and he was like, that's really funny. And then Rich's girlfriend came over, and she was like, oh, like what's going on? And I showed her the thing, and I was like, did you see this thing I sent? It's really funny. This chick, she always pays for so-and-so's Kava. She looks just like Barbara Bush. And she's like kicking me, and I'm like, why is she kicking me? And then I look up, and the woman's
She's right
sitting
there.
right there in front of me, staring at me. And that's one where it was like I didn't know what to do. I was like, should I?
What did you do? What did you say?
I just pretended like I was an idiot. I was like, I don't know. She was like, oh, I don't really know who that is. I was like, I don't know either who that person that I'm talking about is. I have no idea what's going on around me. I'm a simpleton, clearly. So things like that. So
she sounds like a nice lady. She's very nice.
She's willing to
lady.
pay
She's
checks
always
for
trying to
people.
Pay checks, yeah.
I'm sure she is.
Something good in the man. I don't know what, but you does see something.
I think she is a nice lady, so I actually felt bad, and I was like, that's one of those things where it's like, well, I don't see any outcome here where me going over to her and talking to her right now is going to improve.
Help anything, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe at some point I can try to make amends to her, or maybe I'll just hopefully never see her again. But the point is, Pastor, those are the reasons people don't like me.
Is that it really?
Yeah, that's how. Well,
those are funny things.
It's always around a joke, and it's always
Yeah.
around me pushing something too far. But apart from that, people usually do.
Well, they do.
like
I know
me.
people a lot. I know a lot of your friends around here, and they all like you very much. They think you're a very nice
My
guy.
friends like me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It'd be weird if they hated me.
Well, sometimes you have friends that that say they like you, but
Frenemies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like as soon as you turn around, they're
View friendship as sort of a Machiavellian
That's exactly
trick.
Exactly,
It's a stratagem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I know that that's your approach to pastoring this church, right? It's all there's a pyramid scheme involved at some point. You're gonna sell me some Amway or something.
That's right. Yeah. Well, actually,
Holy water.
That's good. Good.
You got to get the Fort Lauderdale Holy Water concession.
That's
yeah.
it. It'll be really good, and you just need a few people working for you, and then you don't have to work at all.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's all about selling distributorships.
Isn't that scary that people did that? And I do know pastors that were involved like that and did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what Amway is huge in Vietnam?
No way.
Yeah. Super huge in Vietnam.
Why? What's the purpose? I mean, why there?
I don't know. It's like Germans love David Hasselhoff. Vietnamese love pyramid schemes. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but it's really huge. I used to work in the building there in Saigon, and the whole first floor was Amway.
That's just scary in so many ways. That really is.
It really is bizarre.
So are you going to watch any of the football this weekend?
By the time this airs, we will be able to incorrect. I don't know. We should say who won.
You should make a prediction. I think.
Who's in the? What's it called? Is this the World Series of football?
Something like that. Soccer, I think.
Right. No. Is there? Is the Super Bowl's coming up or something? Is that right?
Something big like that's coming up. Yeah.
Ever since my fantasy football team lost, I lost track of everything.
Why? How did you get caught up in that? Was it friendship?
Charles Farron.
Yeah, that's right.
He wrote me in, and I loved it.
Oh,
I just like any game,
That's it.
But which teams are playing?
Well, you got the Broncos.
Okay.
And they're playing Patriots.
Okay.
And you got the.
Oh, there's still several.
Got four teams. Yeah, and you got Carolina Panthers, and they're playing the Cardinals.
Okay.
And that's always strange. Cardinals, you always have these big mass, kind of logos. It's hard to make a cardinal look mad on a logo,
I think they should have like the
red cardinal on their head.
I think they should have the actual cardinal hats, like the College of Cardinals. That would be awesome.
That would be good.
The Cardinals.
Yeah. They all run out
and they could
bless you,
They could play like the mullahs, or then they could play the bodhisattvas.
That's very good.
Something like that.
Look at that.
Let's have some religious teams. My friend Chuck Farron, who I just mentioned, who I do the Game of Love podcast with, he said that he thought that there should be football teams named after diseases and things like that.
Like what?
Like the plagues.
You're right. Yeah.
Like the seasonal affective disorders.
Dysentery or.
Yeah, the choleras. Something like that.
The choleras. Okay, they're looking good today.
He got altitude sickness while he was up in the Rockies, and he was saying there should be like the altitude sicknesses. That'd be a good one. But they're hard to pluralize.
They are, but
thing.
but it would be fun to do that way. Yeah, that could be good. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use, for some reason you can use like natural disasters. You could have like hurricanes and stuff like that.
Right. Well, that's easy. Tornadoes, hurricanes.
Yeah. But not like
summer storms. No, it doesn't work, does it?
Well, you can have things like that, and natural phenomena. You can have animals, but you can't have. You can have like a particular kind of job. Like the Steelers or something, the Packers. But you can't have pestilences. But I think we should have religious figures.
It could be good. It could be.
Yeah, I think we should have the bodhisattvas and the cardinals.
That's good.
And the
the Cardinals would be great. You
do have you do have the Crusaders.
Right. Okay.
That was the name of the.
It's like a college team.
That was the name of the team of one of That was the name of the teams of one of the Christian high schools in the area where I grew
The
up.
Crusaders. Oh man.
You don't like that one?
No. No. It's not something I
thought you were a Jesus fan, Pastor. Not a Jesus fan anymore?
The Crusaders, we're going to kill them all. That's good. Nice.
Well, what about
Nice imagery.
what about waging a crusade against ignorance and economic inequality?
That
You can sign up for that.
done with peace and love and yes, yeah,
Let's have some brotherhood.
yes,
Crusade
Yeah.
of unity.
unity, people coming together.
Crusade of pacifism.
Wasn't that Wall Street thing that they did a while ago? That was people coming together, peace, love, trying to say that things weren't right. Yeah,
What's that? What's Wall Street? What?
you know
They don't do that on Wall Street.
Yeah, they did.
Isn't it more about like capitalism and
No.
things like that?
Was it good? It was the yeah. So who are you gonna vote for the who are you gonna go for the teams? Come on.
I don't know. And by the time this airs, someone will already have won.
Right. Well, do you want to just like leave a gap and then we'll go back and feed?
Well, it'll be like we'll just say that the prophecy was fulfilled.
Yeah,
we'll fill it in later.
That's exactly who I thought was gonna win.
What about gossip?
What about it?
Should I
I think you
perform
should
some
try to
penitence?
strain away from it. Slowly pull away from it.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
so funny.
It is, but can you
Can we do it with love? That's my question. Ultimately, that's what I want to know.
can you do gossip with love?
Yeah. I'll give you an example. So, like, actually, I have all those
Well, could you
conversations.
gossip and talk about somebody in positives? No, I'm serious.
Terrible,
can
boring.
you tell jokes about being positive about somebody? Can you say, come on, wait, no. That guy is so good,
This
man.
guy is the greatest guy ever.
Let me tell you about how great. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
that's not how it works.
Okay.
But what I was thinking about though is talking about these people. Here's the thing. Here's the positive.
Okay, what's the positive?
Talking about these people, both my friend and I, who commiserate on our relationships
Right.
with these people,
Right.
and I, both of us have, we talk to these people
Right.
one-on-one also sometimes, and he has confronted, since we started doing this, he has confronted two of them
Right.
on two of them. It's at some level on some of these tendencies, these negative tendencies that they have, and I've confronted one of them.
And so taking other people's inventory is like a good thing.
I don't want to say that, but what I'm saying is that, like you said, you should take them aside and say,
Yeah.
well, here's, I love you, but here's the issue, and
Right,
maybe we can.
You praise people when there are a lot of people around, and you correct people when it's just you and them.
What about when they're not there, but it's just me and one other person? I feel like I should still be able to correct them. I don't know. A part of it is blowing off steam and just trying to get our thoughts straight about this stuff. Trying to get clear. You're like, you're shaking your head. Pastor's not. He's not. You're not letting me. I thought you were so tolerant, and I could just get away with whatever.
You, man. I love you.
I knew this was a bad subject to bring up. Well, I don't know.
Oh no, you're good.
I talked about it with some of my other friends. And,
Right.
And,
What did they say?
One of them said, "Oh, we always, I do that sometimes too, and we blow off steam that way." And no, I don't think that's so bad. As long as you're not spreading things around to other people about them and trying to drag their name down.
Well, yeah, but what ends up happening is you say something about somebody, and then somebody else repeats that to the other to somebody else, and suddenly you've like dissed some guy, and it's not good, and then you're asking, if this guy's having a relationship with his girlfriend, and somebody wants to punch you in the mouth. That doesn't sound like a good process.
Right. It leads to that thing that
Yeah.
people don't like me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And I think you're a real likable guy,
Out of self-interest, I should do this.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
just- yeah,
saying?
and-
You appeal to my self-interest.
Yeah,
Well, you've got me there, Pastor. I don't know about all this right and wrong, but you're telling me this will help me?
That's right. Exactly. I'm for it. Okay, now.
I'm a pragmatist, ultimately. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know. I feel like it's bad. Like the reason that I know sometimes that it's bad is that, like I said before, I find myself finding fault
Right.
with them
Right.
more now than I did before we
Before,
started these
yeah.
conversations.
So it's not healthy.
I know it's not healthy, but it's going to be really hard to stop. I think it's going to be hard to stop entirely, but I don't think that, because it's like something will happen or come up on this in this situation, and it'll be like, we have to address this.
Right.
But maybe we should not dwell on it for an hour.
Right.
You know?
Sometimes you have to put the crack pipe down.
Right.
You know?
It's true. No, it is. It's one of those things where it's like, it's very gratifying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So in like a very narrow
and see,
way.
What's gratifying about it? It's dragging somebody else down. And I think in essence, it's because you drag somebody else down, it lifts you up. And that's probably...
Yeah.
And I meant to say that to you, not on...
That plays to all my most negative, you know, character defects and problems anyway. So, yeah, no, it's true. It is an addictive kind of a thing. I think because it's so gratifying, and yet it's not building you up at all.
Right. I've known people that have been really into gossip, and when you try to help them get away from it, it's like they don't know how to talk to each other without that.
Right.
And so it takes a while for them to start to develop other conversational pieces and things to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
I don't know. I still think though, if we're making jokes, somehow it's okay. You know?
Yeah, that's right. It's okay.
I mean, there's something about if it's in the form of a joke that makes it feel like it's better.
Yeah, it's just a little different. It's
because it's
followed by laughter.
It's cutting to the heart of something.
Yeah,
you know, and yet it's like, because it's humorous. It's just, I don't know. It takes this. I just want to be able to do it, Pastor. Is what I'm saying. I just want to be able to keep doing this thing that I'm doing. Man. Give me the crack pipe.
That's it.
All right. Well, I'll work on that. Pastor. So let's wind it up there.
Okay.
We've got to cut it short, but great episode. Lots of fun.
Good fun.
Yeah, and I want to say something to all our listeners. Yeah. So don't forget to write us. You can do that at jesuschristthat'sfunny@gmail.com. Yeah. Let us know what you think about gossip and about, you know, all the jerky things that I talked about myself doing on this episode. And listen to Mr. Moral High Ground over here. This pastor riding in on his high horse.
No. I'm down here serving you, man. You want another cup of coffee? No.
He's ministering to me always. It's true. The minister ministering. So Pastor, a couple things.
Yep.
Where can people find the church?
They can find it. It's in Fort Lauderdale.
Within their hearts.
They can find, yes. It's in Fort Lauderdale. It's 1400 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, 33304.
What about digitally?
Digitally, we can find it. The Sanctuary. It's actually sanctuarychurchftl.org. Sanctuary Church FTL. And you can really know a lot about us.
And there's a link to the podcast from there, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So you can click on the link and get to Jesus Christ That's Funny from the church's website.
It's taken a while to put that one on there without being defrocked.
Yeah, seriously. Talking about why people don't like me. People don't like me either because of this podcast. That's right. Well, one more thing. So we've had a number of episodes out here, and we've got a longer one, which is kind of got some heavy stuff. Talk a little bit of politics, a little bit of other stuff, a little bit of everything. Talk about some history, the Roman Empire,
progressive revolution,
just a lot of different stuff, and that's coming up next week. So we've got like a long. It's like a 45-minute podcast.
Yeah.
So we've got a supersized episode coming up next week. So stay tuned for that one.
That's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really dull.
No.
It's Ethan's going to talk about philosophy for 45 minutes straight.
But no. You talked about Rome and Greece, and then that was good. That was very good.
Yeah, thanks. I really don't feel like it was. Well, anyway, no, it's great. Listen to it. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. But for now, also you can before we go. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
At Ethan is not funny. You can also check out my website at ethanmorecomedy.com.
Very good. Nice.
All right, so do that, and we'll wrap it up there, Pastor.
Sounds great. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. Good to talk to you, and we'll